Welcome to Hell on Earth. What's up, fellow Miami Hurricanes fans and all anybody else just wanting to laugh at us? You're welcome in here as well. What's up, guys? Did you watch the same thing I did earlier?
I did, as a matter of fact. Unfortunately.
Alex?
What was that?
What about you? Did you watch any football
just cutting
today?
up a bit. Yeah, unfortunately for my mental health.
Oh, geez. So, yeah, that was absolutely horrible. This is the one time you, neither one of these guys got anything to say. Fill us in. What happened?
We were blessed this year by having the greatest offense in the history of Miami, but then the football gods said, not so fast. You're about to have the worst defense in the history of Miami.
No, that's not true. Stop it. I mean, I get being hyperbolic, defense? But 97 was way worse, but you still got, milk on your breath, so you wouldn't remember shit like that.
Anything before I was born doesn't count.
Yes, it counts. Jesus fucking Christ. So like anything before, so nothing existed before AOL, according to him.
Like Ron,
yeah, exactly.
Like Ron Swanson said, everything before July 4th, 1776 was a mistake.
Yeah, you don't want to say nothing happened before you because we've only had how many national titles since you've been alive?
One. Wait a minute. What year were you born?
03, so 0.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, see, so yeah, things
God.
did exist before you were born.
Good
thing. Maybe this is all your damn fault.
I'm a sad little man. But hey, at least you can say I'm not a bandwagon. Because this team, over the past 21 years of my life, has given me nothing except this.
I am getting to the point where I'm blaming it on all you young fucks. I really am.
I know life was good before these people came around, Slim. I mean, we did good. And then here comes these guys, and now we can't do anything but lose. I mean, how fitting is it, like you said, to have the number one offense in the country and just not be able to stop anything?
Well, I mean, is this year very different from 17? Just a mirror image of it?
No, not at all.
No.
I mean,
I think we were actually better. Our offense was better this year, a lot, than it was then. But
of course,
we just, goddamn, our defense sucks.
No, yeah, I mean, 17 was hilarious, and because it was an elite defense with an offense that couldn't score, and now we have an offense that does nothing but score, but you pair it with a defense that can't stop anything.
Yeah, well, that's not true either. I mean, we basically stopped them for the entire first quarter. And then it seemed like they just forgot how.
It was 2 drives, and then the first drive was a touchdown, but then there was that penalty for illegal formation, just because the wide receiver was like slightly off the line of scrimmage. Which, hey,
guess what? Every championship level team has calls like that, where something is taken off the board because of the other team's screw up. Happens to everybody. It's part of the game.
Yeah, but then to come out and get outscored at one point, 35-7. Like, okay, yeah, let's blame the defense. Obviously, giving up 42 points, awful. But again, that lull that this offense hits in the middle of the game, where they just can't put anything together, that also cost us.
Sure.
Because again, you got outscored 35.
Now, I've got to throw this in there too, and if you try and defend it, shame on you. But it's obvious Jacoby George hasn't learned a fucking thing since last year.
Yeah, can you explain to me what happened? Because I was watching in the car and it's kind of laggy and in and out.
He was getting up and then launched up into somebody's face.
And then
he tried to play it off like, bruh, you did it. Deal with it.
How far back did that where were we in relation to the goal line? How far back did that penalty bring us? Because I saw
that was the 15-yard penalty that knocked off the touchdown where we settled for the field goal.
Yeah, I know that because my feed cut out before that play where he did that dumb shit. And then when I came back, it was 2nd and goal at like the 23.
Yep.
So hey, speaking about that drive, what are your guys' thoughts on Mario taking the field goal instead of going for the touchdown there?
I think it was a coin flip. At that point, it was one of those, you can take the field goal. If you don't get the touchdown, then, you're worse off. They were hoping to get the ball back and be able to be in there. I think it was kind of one of those coin flips to where, what are you going to do? If you go for it and don't get it, you're totally screwed.
Here's the thing. If who was it? Mesidor got that offsides penalty for jumping too early. I think it was. No, it was you're right. It was mod mode. If he doesn't do that, we get the ball back with time. Maybe not a lot of time, but we get the ball back with time. And at that point, you don't need a touchdown to tie it. At that point, you're looking at a touchdown to win it. So I'm not mad at the decision at all. I really am not.
My 2 cents is I could see the arguments for both. You go for the touchdown. You go for the touchdown, but you're at the 13 and it's 4th and goal. If you don't get it, Syracuse has to drive a long field. But then again, you're down 7. Now you need a touchdown just to tie and then go to overtime. There's 4 minutes left. There's plenty of time to get a stop. If you kick the field goal, you're hoping to get the stop, but you're running a defense out there that hasn't been able to stop them all day, whether it's passing or running. Because again, the run defense didn't. Sorry, did I cut out there? I was getting a call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's up, Kyle?
Yeah.
Good to see you, Kyle. Kyle says, it doesn't see us going past 12, still make the playoffs. I don't think, I don't know.
Well, they shouldn't. And here's what I'll say. If they drop Bama to where they did, they got no business dropping us out of the top 12.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
point blank, period.
Especially because it's a 9-win Syracuse team. It's not like we lost to a 3-win Georgia Tech team. Even though, bad example, we lost to Georgia Tech this year. It's not like we lost to Wake Forest.
Well, once again, that's not a 3-win Georgia Tech team either, though.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about this.
It's a
our preseason
that took Georgia to 8 overtimes last night.
Yes, and it took referees saving them. And by the way, everybody knows I'm not on the blame refs bandwagon, but it took some 2020 election level fuckery by the refs to save Georgia in that game. Sorry, Mark. But not really. And then it still took Georgia 8 overtimes to win that game. That was just getting hard to watch. But
the hardest thing to watch was watching Rec Talk and Sea Dog streaming that game. They went from being the happiest people I've ever seen. I thought they were going to start making out at one point because they were winning so good. And then to watch them slowly deflate and then go through the 8 overtime of stress, it was amazing sitting there watching them stream that game. That was so much fun.
Yeah. But I mean, considering what's happening, you look at Ohio State, you look at other things that are going to happen this week and next week. No, they're probably not out of it. Now, this defense is going to have to figure something out. And by the way, I would like to point out that everybody year in and year out that wants to point at putting in true freshmen, guess what? He's played well in spurts when he's been in, but OJ Frederick played most of this game, and they picked on him repeatedly.
I know Jeff Watson is painful, isn't it? He says still couldn't win the ACC with the number one offense in a weak schedule. It's fucking
Well, and it's funny. Like 9 and a half times out of 10, 10-2 would get you to the ACC championship.
Yep.
This year, it won't.
Yeah, because SMU just out of nowhere decided to go God mode or whatever.
Well, not really. Like, and here's the thing. This is why. This is actually. It's funny. This is what, like, this year proves that transitive property in football doesn't work. Because the same Duke team that SMU struggled with, had to go to overtime with, honestly should have lost to, we blew out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for the people out there that say, because I've seen a lot of that since the game's ended. Oh, well, it's a good thing we're not going anyway because this SMU team would have throttled us. Well, no, not necessarily. This SMU team has gotten by several games by the skin of their teeth all year.
Yep. I mean, lately they've turned it on, though. Like today, they absolutely just whooped Cal.
Well, yes, but Cal's a terrible football team. Can't stand the attrition of guys getting injured throughout the year. Like the only reason that Cal, and I said this after the game, go back and watch that Cal game with us. Defensively, they had like 8 plays on offense where they did something. Outside of that, our defense shut them down. But those 8 plays were either 60-yarders or they were touchdowns.
It's just frustrating because, again, like it was as simple as it can get. Win and you're in. If you win today, you're going to the ACC title game and you're pretty much locked into the playoff. Now it's just it's in the hands of a bunch of people that haven't respected you all year. I mean, ESPN at one point in the game today, I don't know if you guys remember this, showed all the close calls we've had, and it's not like, oh, look at the clutch plays Miami had. It was, look at the calls that went their way.
Yeah, but they can't point to any that went our way that were wrong.
Yeah. But again, that's what I'm saying. I feel like we should get in because like Duke's probably going to be ranked. They're 9-3. They finished 9-3. We lost to a good Georgia Tech team that should have beat Georgia last night. We lost to a good Syracuse team. Excuse me. We beat a good Louisville team on the road. We beat Florida on the Florida on the road, and they beat Ole Miss and LSU. Like we do have some good wins, but I just don't feel like we're gonna get the respect we should, and that's what's gonna keep us out of the playoff. And I'm afraid we saw Cam, X, and a bunch of other guys like Jacoby their last games in a Miami uniform. Because I'm sorry, if we go to the Brazzers Butthole Bowl or whatever, like we're not like they're not gonna play in that.
Well, I think it depends. Number one, that depends on the matchup. I think there's more factors that come into it than that. But I'll say this, like considering I've tried to kind of temper this week after week, but I've never really come right out and said it. Like, why was anybody trying to stare at a deep playoff run or a national title? Name me the last team that went 7-5 and then won the national title the next year.
Maybe 2010 Auburn, maybe.
Okay.
With like Cam Newton. But that's just because Cam Newton went like Super Saiyan and carried them all the way to the national title.
Yeah, well, and they also matched up against an Oregon team that made their first national title ever and couldn't handle the stage.
Yeah.
Like
I think
that's what I can't get. That's why I can't get over the fire Mario and fire Guidry. Like we have seen one other 10-win season since '04.
Yeah, I mean let's speak on that. This whole I can kind of understand. I can understand where people are coming from with the fire Guidry thing. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand it. Who the hell thinks genuinely that we should fire Mario? Who? Because recruiting is up. The program has more money. The school's backing him completely. And the results have now shown up on the field. It's year 3 from a program that was nowhere, just in pure mediocrity. And now he has him at 10 wins with a Heisman candidate quarterback. Please stop. Like, if someone genuinely thinks that Mario Cristobal should be fired after today, and they point to like the field goal or the losses on the field, get out. Get out of here. Like, you're ridiculous. You need to go have a checkup and have your brain checked or be checked into a mental institution.
I'm not even going with the fire Guidry talk because this is a guy less than 12 months ago. We were rushing to give him more money so he would stay. Like we came into this year knowing the secondary was the weak point of this defense.
Yeah, and speaking with that, I saw some people during the game today and after being like, why wasn't this D-line able to get pressure today? You know why? And they showed it on
because they're not going to get pressure with 4, and you have to only rush 4 because your back end is so bad.
Not even just that, but they showed it on the broadcast today. Syracuse's whole thing was, hey, our offensive line is not going to hold up if we have Kyle McCord back there for 5 seconds holding the football. Like, he's going to get sacked every play. So what did they do? Where are we weak defensively? In the secondary and covering the flats because our linebackers don't have that sideline to sideline speed. What did they do? They drew up plays where Kyle McCord could get the ball out quickly into the flat, and they picked up 8 to 12 yards every single time. So I'm sorry. If Kyle McCord is getting the ball out of his hand in 1 to 2 seconds, you're not going to get pressure. You're not going to get pressure. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah, that whole game today was just, it's hard to take in almost like when you look at it, because like right off the bat, I was like, Jesus Christ, looks like we're playing a peewee football team. Like right at the beginning, we were just absolutely dominating. And then all of a sudden, wham, there it went.
It all went downhill after you sent that text, man.
I know, it's probably my fault.
You should have just kept
it is your fault.
My fault. Just blame it on me. Blame it on me.
I saw that text while I was driving, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh no! I know. It was like, damn.
He's insulted the gods.
Yep, insulted the football gods.
Well, and listen, I said this, and not just me. Mario said this before the season ever started. This roster still ain't where it needs to be. Like, people are asking, where does the team go from here? You keep doing the exact same thing you're doing because the roster just ain't there yet.
Yeah.
Guess what, people? We don't have a top 10 roster in the nation. We don't. But you know what games like this do show? That a guy like DJ Pickett is going to come in here and earn play time early.
Yep. I mean, it's year 3. Like we said, it's year 3, and we have 10 wins. You want a direct comparison? You know who else is in year 3? Lincoln Riley. What are they doing? Brian Kelly's in year 3. He lost to Billy Napier. That's the ultimate indictment on a coach. You lost to Billy Napier.
Yeah, I'm sitting there looking at the Florida State. Speaking of right now, Florida State's not doing so well.
I'm shocked.
Well, who's surprised? Color me surprised.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
neither is Texas A&M against Texas. Sorry, Mr. Duggar, but good to see you though.
I was supposed to be at that Florida game, but then I was like, 9 hours is too far for me. I'm not driving that.
Yeah, to go watch that dumpster fire.
Hey, last time I went, it was cool because it was 2022 when Anthony Richardson and Jordan Travis were having just a shootout, and then Florida State ended up like rushing the field because they beat a 6-win Florida team, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I find this funny. Development and coaching are the problem. The staff can recruit but can't develop or coach. Well, I mean, everybody's been hyping up OJ Frederick and Zaquan Patterson all through the season about how well they've looked as freshmen. So, can't have it both ways here, sunshine.
Or look at Mark Fletcher, Francis Mawanoa, Isaiah Horton, Jacoby George. We've developed guys. We have. So I think that's, again, just a ridiculous point. Like, I love this.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about development. Miami has never had a wide receiver ever. All the wide receivers that have come through here, Miami has never had a wide receiver with back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons before now.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Uncle Luke about Kevin Beard, but suck on that, fucking idiot.
Yeah, that was the stupidest shit. I couldn't believe he fucking said that.
What did he say? I missed.
He said Kevin Beard is the worst wide receiver coach Miami's ever had.
And he said it because his point was, oh, that we're only passing the ball to 4 guys. And it's like, yeah, they all have over 500 yards, you fucking dipshit. Like, what are you complaining? He was complaining because there's a certain player, I'm not going to name names, that he coached who's not getting touches.
I will if you don't.
That player is a sophomore. He's an underclassman who has seniors performing at a high level ahead of him. So please, shut up. Shut up, you over-the-hill rapper, because now instead of writing lyrics, you're with your little Twitter fingers. So shut your mouth.
Yes, and Jeff Watson with a good point. Jordan Lyle is developing just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, we're probably going to have this entire running back core back next year because Mark Fletcher is only a sophomore and Damian Martinez has not done enough this year to head off to the league.
Yeah, I mean,
now he may anyway, just because running backs almost have to. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if Damian is back next year.
Yeah, I mean, looking ahead to next year, yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Listen, there's a reason Ray ain't done a damn thing but fair catch punts or point to them and wait for somebody else on the opposing team to down them. Okay, there's a reason for that.
Yeah. But yeah, looking to next year, when you do look at this roster, I feel okay where it's at. The main concerns, again, are going to be secondary. We're going to need guys in the portal, and we do have some good freshmen coming in with potentially being able to flip guys like that Florida commit. I'm forgetting his name right now. And then obviously DJ Pickett. And then quarterback. You're going to have to get a guy out of the portal.
Here's the thing with corners, and you saw this with guys like Maffa from Clemson. Maffa from Clemson got absolutely lit up as a freshman versus Wake Forest because that was the year Wake Forest had, Sam Hartman and that claw fence was rolling. And what happened? The next year, that man was a lockdown corner. OJ Frederick and a lot of these other guys that have seen a lot of playing time this year will be better next year.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? You get burnt as a freshman like you did tonight.
Yeah, it's very rare that you'll see a freshman come in at corner specifically where the athleticism and the game changes so much and be like elite, let alone like very impactful. Like Derek Stingley does not grow on trees. Derek Stingley came in as a true freshman corner and was locked down as a true freshman corner in 2019. Like, that's rare.
Yeah, it's rare. Like everybody said, and it's funny. I saw this scroll across my Twitter timeline the other day to kind of hammer this point home. I mean, everybody thought Tracy Howard was going to come in and light the world on fire at corner.
Mm-hmm.
How did that work out? You want to know what stifles development? Firing coaches every other year. That stifles development. I don't know how many times. I mean, seriously, I need some people to Google the definition of insanity. Trying the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. We keep firing people over and over and over again. But some of you rocket surgeons and brain scientists seem to think that, well, this time it's going to be different.
Yeah.
I'm going to get off my soapbox.
I mean, I don't even. There's not even much else I need to say because what am I just gonna talk about for the next 20 minutes? Defense sucks. Offense hit a lull. We lost. Boo-hoo. Like, it's the same shit we've been talking about all year. The defense fucking sucks. They suck. Is it all Guidry? No. Is it all the players on the field? No. It's honestly a little bit of both when you look at it. Guys,
It is. Because one of the things that gets me, and this is something that is his fault, and I will not understand it for the life of me, other than maybe it's just what you have to deal with right now. But why Akeem Mesidor is trying to keep up with a fucking running back out of the backfield?
Yep.
Like, okay, I'm not in practice, so I don't know it. You may just happen to be doing the best of what you got there.
Yeah, that's the exact point I was gonna make. Or like you see fucking Syracuse bring in 2-3 tight ends, and they're obviously gonna run the ball, and you stay in a fucking nickel pack. Like, what are you doing? Like, at that point, obviously that's on coaching. But then there's shit like OJ Frederick, freshman playing zone. You have a fucking under route running across, and he doesn't pass the guy off. He doesn't communicate. Hey, pick him up, wide open for a first down. What is Gidget supposed to do there?
Hey, Martin, I'm not sorry. No. I mean, good Lord. And guess what? As shitty as you want to say, it's still a top 25 defense nationally. So it ain't that shitty. But I don't know why people were expecting something different than what happened today. Like we talked about it last week. This was probably going to be a shootout. Mm-hmm. Kyle McCord came into this game with more passing yards than Cam Ward.
Yeah, you had the two leading passers, playing against each other. You knew they were going to score, and that's it. We fell short, man. And
the over under was at 67.5
for a reason.
And they hit the over. They hit the fucking over on a 67.5 over under. Like, these casinos know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, they don't keep building new casinos for no reason.
Yeah, they hit 80. 42-38. They hit the over by 13 points. 2 touchdowns.
Oh, man.
Like, I'm sorry. If you were thinking coming in today, especially seeing how this defense played all year, that you were going to stop Syracuse, please. And I know we were up 21-0. I know.
Which, by the way, nobody this year has shut down Syracuse. Case in point, Kyle McCord has more passing yards than Cam Ward.
Yeah, I mean, the best you could hope for is to maybe limit Syracuse, like play really bend but don't break, hold them to some field goals. But that's about the best you were going to get. If you thought Syracuse wasn't at least going to get 24 points, at least, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, no, the best you can hope for, honestly, is how the game started off, where you can get a 21-point lead and maintain it. They just couldn't maintain it.
Oh, yeah, you got outscored 35-7. And is that on defense? Yeah, that's on defense. Scoring 30, giving up 35 points like that. But what about that 7? Number 1 offense in the country? You see them going on a run and you can't respond?
Yeah,
sorry.
their defense responded. They stood up and did their job.
Yeah.
But, and X had another uncharacteristic fumble, but the man's had 2 fumbles on the year and he's got over 1,000 yards. I'm not taking his lunch money.
Yeah, it's that X fumble was one of those plays where it was like shit happens and shit happened at the worst time.
Well, and see, this is, I think, a perfect, I think Martin is overreacting like a lot of people do after a loss. Cam's got over 4,000 yards and right at 40 touchdowns, maybe just a couple short. I didn't look up the number at the end to see exactly where he finished at.
Brendan, pull up his stats because we can't leave because we're on the phone. Just see how many stuff he has.
I got you.
Yeah.
So, no, he hasn't lost the Heisman yet. Chances are we're in the playoffs, so that's not done yet. So what are you trying to say? Nothing has been wasted yet.
Yeah, if you go back to the preseason show we did, this is about what we expected. We were pretty dead on with our analysis of this team.
Hey, I was only off by 1 game. I picked the Louisville instead of Georgia Tech, but I called the Syracuse. I said, I don't like it. I said, I said Kyle McCord would be the reason. I said, Kyle McCord was not Ohio State's problem last year. And to his credit, he's proved that.
Yeah, Slim said 10-2. I said 10-2 because I picked Louisville and Virginia Tech. And to be fair, we almost did lose to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, but we didn't.
We didn't. It counts as a win. And also, I'm going to say it again. Fuck you, Virginia Tech. It was incomplete. I don't care how much you bitch and moan on the internet.
It was incomplete.
What did you want to know on Cam? You wanted me to pull.
How many passing touchdowns did he end up with?
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
34, and he went 3,774.
Oh, that's yards. Before the game because he's over 4,000 already.
Yeah.
Is it? Well, okay.
It hasn't updated. Well, what are his stats for the game?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Total touchdown number, because not just passing.
For this game, 349 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. So there you go.
So he has 30. So he has 36 passing touchdowns.
36 plus the rushing touchdowns are counted into his stats as well. So he's responsible for over 40 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah. What were we saying? Oh yeah, the preview show. We were pretty spot on about this. Brendan went 11-1, but 10-2, 11-1. That's right there. Come on. And we're a few plays away from being 11-1, maybe even 12-0. But yeah, we talked about how we think the offense is going to be good, but what was the main concern we brought up? The secondary. What is
secondary
this year?
The secondary. I'll take the secondary for 300, Alex.
You get 300.
Yep. That's what we said, at the beginning of the season. That's what we were worried about. And that's basically.
We all knew this, but somehow we all knew it. We all expected it, but somehow we want to get in our little feels now and run everybody off because of it.
You know
when by the way, we have stuff to look forward to because we've got top end guys wanting to come in, not only through high school, but through the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys that we have brought in have done fairly well, shown development, and we can't assume we'll do nothing but get better going forward. Unless, of course, we just want to fire everybody and take 2 steps back, which would be a very Miami thing to do.
Right. Could see that happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with what Chris is saying, the whole back seven. But that's also something we brought up. These guys don't have sideline to sideline speed. And when you have a secondary that can't cover well, that's going to expose that even more. Because when you have two great safeties like we did last year in James and Cam, they can cover up a lot of mistakes.
Well, sure. And now, and we pointed it out already in this game, but you also, like we've said it too, that, Malinoa at linebacker, like, dude is 245 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That says to me, when you're dropping him in coverage, that you don't have much of a choice but to drop him in coverage, and you're having to make do with what you have.
No, yeah, there was literally one play today where I was looking, like we were at a stoplight, and I'm looking down at the phone because I have the game going while I'm driving, and I see how we're lined up, and Syracuse has 5 wide. We're obviously lined up in man because of course we'd be, and then I just see Malinoa lined up on a slot receiver, and I was like, oh, that's gonna go right there because he's either gonna run like a slant or an under round. He ran a post and it was wide open. Malinoa wasn't even within like 6 yards of him, like immediately wide open.
So and that's not necessarily Malinoa's fault.
No, it's not.
And I'm not even necessarily blaming Guidry, because once again, if that's the best you've got to work with to try and do it, that's all you can do. And that goes back to the point that this roster isn't there yet.
Yep. Again, look, just to bring it back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the show. You and Brennan got to see like the glory years, like you did. You got to see 2001. You got to see the 80s. Brennan might have even seen the 50s when we were ass.
Oh, when George Myra was the quarterback, George Myra Jr. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. Well, listen, I didn't get to see the 80s, but I do remember like it. And I don't think. And I think the problem is that Miami's been mediocre for so long that we reminisce on shit like that. Like, you're never going to see the Bermuda Triangle at linebackers ever again.
No.
Like, you're not going to see. Trying to recreate 01 Miami is fucking impossible. It's never going to happen.
Especially now with NIL on the transfer portal. But the broader point I was trying to make is this. This is the best season we've had in 20 years. Think about that for a second. Now, I'm not saying,
I don't know. Somebody told me somebody said in the comments just a little while ago 17 was better.
I mean, look, I'm not saying don't point stuff out. I'm not saying like don't criticize the team, because then that's just being stupid and blind. Obviously, criticize the team. If you see something wrong, point it out. But can we just stop with all the bullshit? Can we stop with all the fucking crying and acting like we're a bunch of 13-year-old girls on our fucking periods?
No, we can't.
Like just enjoy at least what we've had, and the fact that it's going to be brighter. It's going to be better. Because you have a coach that can recruit, a coach that can develop. Look at the foundation he laid in Oregon and where they're at now. They're number 1 in the fucking country. They're about to go 12-0.
And if you think that doesn't have anything to do with Mario, you're nuts. Guess what? I'm friends with Oregon fans all over Twitter. They acknowledge it too.
That team was 4-8 when he took over. Like, please. He got kids to commit to Eugene fucking Oregon. Pre-NIL. That's my rant for the night.
That's your rant. So what's our best case scenario to make it to the playoffs now? What do you think if
Clemson
has to lose?
Actually, no. I think Clemson needs to win.
You think?
No.
Yes, because and hear me out, because we all know that the emblem on the side of the helmet, some of them carry more weight than others, and it is a simple fact that SMU's doesn't carry any weight.
What do you mean? It's the Pony Express.
Nah, I get it, I get it, and it probably should, because I mean people are acting surprised. SMU's been to the top of the mountain before. Like this ain't nothing new for the SMU program, but they're also the only ones to actually receive the death penalty.
Also, wait, just to address something real quick, Chris. Obviously, Chip Kelly brought not LSU, Jesus Christ, Oregon into the national spotlight. He got them to a national championship game. They made the national championship in 2014. But then you have to remember they went like 3-9 in 4-8 in 2016. They were bad. They were bad.
Well, listen, that wasn't Chip Kelly that got Oregon to the national title in 2014 with Marcus Mariota. Chip Kelly was gone.
I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, Workforce agrees with you. He thinks Clemson's better off too.
Yes, and it's just because, and I don't know why Miami fans are surprised by this. Like we say, we get disrespected all the time. You want to know disrespect was putting Miami at number 2 in the country in 2017. Mm-hmm. That was disrespect because we all knew better.
But we beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, we did get that year. What a glorious game it was.
Well, and we got Florida this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, we start off with Notre Dame next year. That's our first game of the year.
Is it? I thought Florida was still the first game.
No, it's Notre Dame and then like some clown college and then USF and then we play Florida in like week 4. It's so weird.
I thought Florida State was the clown college.
Sorry, we play in elementary school.
Well, Florida State is the literal clown college. He's talking about the metaphorical clown college.
Okay, I got you.
No, yeah. Florida State is an all-girls clown college.
Okay. Yeah, if we'd have had our defense in 2017 with our offense this year,
national title.
I mean, that would have been great. For some reason, we can never have both. You know, we have one or the other.
Well, and I've used this comparison all year. Like our defense is top 25. 2019 LSU was like 35.
See, I always remember like that's what really pissed me off when they put Manny Diaz as the head coach because he's a great defensive coach. If we'd have not put him as a head coach and he was still here now as our running the defense, how great would that be?
He wouldn't be though. Remember, right, because he got hired to
Temple
to be Rutgers head coach.
Temple.
Right.
Temple. But yeah, I'm just sitting there thinking out loud, like I wish we could have kept him. It
would have been really great if who was that old fart from Virginia Tech that was there for like 80 years?
Hey man, you leave Frank Beamer alone.
No,
Beamer
not
ball,
Frank
baby.
Beamer, the defensive coordinator.
Oh, Bud Foster.
Yeah, that one. It would have been cool if Manny was like a Bud Foster type thing.
Oh, where he just wanted to be a DC forever?
Yeah, just a DC at Miami, and he could go through like 4 head coaches. It's like you go through like 4 head coaches, but it's like Manny's still there.
Right.
Well, Bud Foster didn't go through 4 head coaches. Bud Foster only went through 2. And they had to beg and plead Bud Foster to stay when they ran Frank Beamer out of there.
Yeah.
Bud Foster was not happy about it.
But yeah, that would have been cool. I mean, I need Mario to do me a favor. Put your ego aside. Bring Manny back as DC. I don't like him as head coach.
Manny's not. Manny just went 9-3 at Duke. Stop it. Manny's not leaving Duke.
Let me dream.
Well, dream all you want, but you can dream along with the Lollipop Guild because that's about as fantasy as it gets.
I'll be dreaming with the morons that think we're gonna fire Guidry. Because that ain't happening.
Hey man, it could be worse. It could be a whole lot worse. LSU's on TV right now. We could still have Blake Baker.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't remind me.
You want to talk about a bad? You want to talk about a? Well, guess what? He's got another bad defense at Louisiana State right now.
I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. Oh my god.
So worst case scenario, what do we go to the fruit, some kind of cheesy bowl game or something like
Yeah,
that?
Pop-Tart Bowl or something.
No, Brendan, it's like I told you, the bowl projections have us in the Brazzers Anal Bowl. And that's where they have
Brazzers Anal Bowl.
I thought it was the Butt Plug Bowl.
Playing, it's like you said, yeah, we'll get stuck losing to Vanderbilt.
No, it's the Brazzers Birmingham Bowl Clash, BBC.
Oh, okay.
Dun-dun.
Yeah, that just reminds me.
I mean, that's worst case scenario, but like I said, I don't see us dropping out of the playoffs. I really don't. I mean, especially if Alabama can take a third loss and only drop to 13, I don't see it.
I was really hoping Auburn could win today, but Auburn's just an eternal disappointment.
Well, that would have helped. Of course, Georgia Tech winning would have helped.
Yeah, that would have really helped.
Now there's even an argument for there's an argument for SMU winning the ACC could help, because here's the thing: Clemson's going to fall because they lost to South Carolina.
Right. That's
but you also have to look at the Big Ten, because with I believe Penn State won today, so they're going to the Big Ten title game against Oregon. Yeah, that could knock somebody out of the way too.
Because if Clemson loses, there'll be a full-loss team at that point to SMU.
That's why I'm saying it's better for Clemson to lose. That's why I'm saying it's better for Clemson to lose, because there's no way you put a 4-loss team.
Well, if Clemson wins, I mean, they're locked into a playoff spot.
Right.
But SMU is already ranked, with them losing, they would only have to drop a few spots. But I mean, once again, it depends. It depends on the polls this week and next. Right. I mean, God only knows.
Right.
Like I said, I don't think it's a done deal that we're out of it. Because let's be honest, with as many 3-loss teams that we didn't think were going to have 3 losses. Yeah, I don't think we're out of it.
No, and I don't
just
think
as crazy as this year's been.
I don't think we're in it, but I don't think we're out of it either. You know what I mean? It's like we just got to sit and wait and see what happens.
We don't control our own destiny at this point. We did.
Right. Yeah, it sucks knowing that all you had to do was beat the fruit. All you had to do was beat the fruit, and you can't beat the fruit.
Yeah, Jeff, we covered Jacoby George being a bonehead. And listen, I'm going to use Mario's own words against him. And this is what he said about Jimmy Johnson. He said, you saw 2 things on that football field when Jimmy Johnson was coach: what he coached them to do and what he allowed them to do. So I'm going to hold you to those words. And the shenanigans that we're seeing out of Jacoby George is either what you coach him to do or what you allow him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, whatever is left of your season, whether it's the playoffs or just a bowl game, I don't want to see him back out on the field. Because I'm not going to say one play costs you the game, because one play doesn't. But it cost you points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was a bonehead penalty, like Jeff Lynn says there.
Speaking of costing us points, hey, ACC refs, fuck you. Since when is a pancake block a fucking hold? because that was a 60-yard run, and then you send us back, and it's like 2nd and 17, and it completely kills the drive. So yeah, fuck you. Everyone wanted to talk about ACC refs. Miami's in the ACC refs' pockets. They're bribing the ACC refs. Yeah, no. ACC refs just suck. There's evidence A.
ACC refs are the worst, I think. But
well, SEC refs showed us something last night.
Oh yeah, that was like. Do you notice there was a couple of times where like the one time the flag got thrown and then it goes back and the guy's like, I'll put this thing back up here. They have a little discussion, no penalty, which it wasn't a penalty, but
well, and it's been that way coast to coast because I don't know how many people saw the end of that BYU Utah game, but that was an absolute abomination as well.
It was so bad that the AD came out in his press conference and was like, I don't care if you fine me. That was bullshit. He was like, you need to do fucking better. I mean, what good is the NCAA if we have these conferences having their own referees? You get me? It's like, what is the point of the NCAA at this point?
No, there is no point. Money. Somebody's paycheck. The NCAA is
it's like the mafia. It's like, why am I paying you?
Right.
Why are you shaking me down for money?
Don't ask no questions.
Hey man, I'll take the mafia over the government, man. The mafia only takes 10%.
Can we cut that out?
Go back and edit that.
Cut.
I'll take it a step further. The mafia and the church, both of them only want 10%.
Oh my God. Mute him.
Somebody get this guy off here. Not only is he going to get us killed, or he's going to send us to hell as well. Damn it, Slim. Damn it, man.
Dear Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
So, I think we've let this run its course, I think. So looking forward, let's kind of summarize this, wrap it up. Where do we find ourselves now? We know we got at least one post game left in us this season. So, that might be a shitty bowl game, or it could be a national championship game.
Man, shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong because it all depends on who you match up against. No team has really set itself apart from everybody else this year.
Yeah, I mean, there was an interesting path that came up where if we were the three, like if things had held up like they were this week, then it was like we would have played Penn State and then someone else, and it's like we at least would have been in the semifinals of the college football playoff, because like people were talking about like, oh well, I like Penn State as a matchup for us, and you know. So I don't know. We just have to see how it rolls. Slim's right.
We're gonna see how we're gonna have to see how the next 2 weeks play out, and go from there.
We're like FSU last year. We're just it's in other people's hands.
And at least we own the state of Florida, right?
That we do. Yeah. And it doesn't look like it's going to change either, because I don't know what the score is now, but Florida wasn't exactly handling Florida State
24
last time. Okay, it's a little bit. It was 14-0 last time I looked at it, and that was before halftime. And I was like, I expected that to be a whole lot worse.
But Slim, all the Florida fans are on Twitter talking about that now that DJ Lagway's asserted himself as one of the top QBs in the country, Jeremiah Smith is going to transfer to Florida.
No. and what may be a real possibility, like you talk about bringing in transfers. According to the Ohio State man on the internet, Ryan Day is going to be gone. So it's a very real possibility that Jeremiah Smith is in a Miami uniform next year.
Yeah, if he enters the portal, that's my first bet as to where he's going.
Well, sure. And that'll be everybody's first bet, because Miami and Ohio State were his last two choices. And he said he literally didn't make his decision on where he was going until he got up on the stage.
Could you imagine?
Exactly,
Jeremy?
Mark Force. The hypothetical UF beats Miami now.
That's all the SEC knows.
Hey, guess what? Guess what, Josh Pate? DJ Lagway did play in the game against Miami. DJ Lagway completed 4 passes, and 3 of them were actually to Florida players.
Yeah. Hey, Josh Pate, I used to like you, but now you're just another fucking SEC hack.
Well, no, he's a habitual fence rider. Like, that dude will come up with a reason why everybody can win 10 games. Like, he rides the fence on everybody.
Also,
It doesn't matter how bad you just lost. Everything's going to listen. He'll be blowing smoke and sunshine up Miami fans' asses on Sunday.
yeah,
He does it to everybody.
Florida's up 24-3 in the fourth quarter right now. So
yeah, 24-3.
Yeah, I have it on the TV. I just turned it on. God, I can't believe I was going to go to this dumpster fire. But it's good because I bet Florida cover the 16.5-point spread, and it looks like they're going to do that. Looks like it, unless Florida State comes up with some time. Oh, they just got sacked on third down. Yeah. Oh,
I'm outside. I can't even see the game.
Kromenhoek is down. Okay, no, he's back up. God, I feel bad for that freshman, bro. It's like literally throwing a puppy to the wolves. It's like, what are you doing, Mike Norvell? This is child abuse. This kid's still 17.
I know, and A&M, they're down bad too. I'm watching.
Yeah, Arizona State beat Arizona 49-7. How about Arizona State and the turnaround there? It's pretty cool, honestly.
Well, and here's the thing with bringing in, just say hypothetically, do bring in a guy like Jeremiah Smith. I've also got faith in some of the other guys, Nikar going forward, and some of the other receivers. And we talked about this last week, fools. Are we that much worse with Emory Williams? Yes, you're not going to get all of the big time flashy plays that you get out of Cam Ward out of him, but you're not going to get the, oh my God, why did he throw that pass plays either out of Emory Williams?
Right. I mean, I think everything, like Cam Ward, there's a lot of good, obviously he's, one of the best quarterbacks in college football, but it does come with its drawbacks as well. There are those moments where you're like, why the hell did you just do that? Just, throw it away, take the sack, But
Yeah,
then when something miraculous happens and it's like, oh my God, it's so great. So I mean, it's a push and pull,
It's like that
Yeah.
It's like that Brett Favre thing where it's like, what the fuck are you doing on one play, and then it's like the other. It's like, holy shit, you just threaded it through 3 defenders. Nice.
Right.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: we may take a step back on offense. Okay. But what if we take? Hang on, because here's the thing. Guess what? And we've seen this, and a lot of Miami fans don't like this. But when you have exceptional receivers and tight ends, say circa 2001, they can make a mid quarterback look better than what he is.
Mm-hmm. And, you got to, as much as we've seen a breakdown at times with our O-line, but I mean, they've given Cam Ward a hell of a lot of time to do stuff.
Yeah.
And that goes to any quarterback sitting back
Like,
there. Of course, you're going to be better off if you got 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm not going to eat the O-line's lunch because after they couldn't hold their blocks for 8 seconds. Okay.
Right.
Because we've all seen that plenty of times Cam Ward should have just got rid of the ball earlier. Part of the that comes with him.
Yep.
I want to say something. This is off topic. So obviously we get all the like, oh, your stadium's only half full jokes. I just want to make a quick joke real quick on top of the joke that already is FSU. Their stadium's half full right now, and the half that is full is all Gator fans. That whole thing is blue.
I saw that too.
Like they panned out during a punt, and it was just a sea of blue, and I'm just like, oh my God, how the mighty have fallen.
I know it looks like our stadium with all those blue seats everywhere.
Yeah.
And guess what? With another year of development in the same system by the same guy, these freshmen that are making freshman mistakes in the secondary next year aren't making freshman mistakes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Also, did you guys see that Florida State hired Gus Malzahn?
Yeah, Gus Malzahn resigned as a UCF head coach. He's going to be the offensive coordinator. At Florida State next year. So read option, beep boop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Because
yeah,
that's all Gus Malzahn runs anywhere ever is the read option.
It's pretty cool, but when the personnel is this bad, I'm sorry, what is Gus Malzahn going to do? And also, it's Gus Malzahn. We're not talking about like 2019 Joe Brady or something.
Yeah,
Like,
and Jeff Lynn's ELO tour. I'm assuming that's Electric Light Orchestra, right? Yeah. Okay. Jeff Lynn, that makes sense. But yeah, I'm not dogging on Cam. I agree totally.
No, we're not dogging on Cam.
It's just
No.
it's that push and pull that comes with that kind of quarterback. Yeah, he's exciting as hell to watch. And I hate the fact that our defense wasn't just a little bit better this year. Because I mean, just a tiny step up on the defense, and we'd be right now.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying, I called you after the game, Brennan. We were saying, if we just had a mediocre, complete middle of the pack defense.
But we do, like by the numbers, we do.
But yeah, but that's
well, no, by the numbers, we have a top 25 defense.
But that's like,
but it's so slanted towards the rush defense is so much better than the pass defense.
Not even just that, but it's also slanted towards the fact of you shut out Ball State and Florida A&M, and you played Florida in week 1. Which again, like, I'm not taking anything away from that win, but it's like, it's a little different when you have like those 9 months to prepare, rather than going from week to week and already having stuff on tape and seeing what the weaknesses are of that season.
Well, and here's the thing. That comes with every season, and I don't know why people are surprised when that happens.
Yeah, again, I'm not saying like, oh, it doesn't count. Like, no.
People find your weaknesses and they pick on them.
It does, but what I'm trying to say is if in ACC play, if we just had a mediocre, middle of the road defense, and not the dumpster fire we have, especially in the secondary.
Dude, we have the second best defense in the conference.
This team would be 12-0. Like, I'm sorry, because when
you here's the thing. Guess what? The conference as a whole is better. Syracuse is better. Duke is better. Georgia Tech is better. The conference as a whole is better, as well as us.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Like, this SEC thing is fading a bit. I say a bit. I think more than people realize. A lot of people still look at it like SEC, but they're not. It's not top to bottom that dominant, like it used to be.
We saw it last night.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I think we're done beating the dead horse that is this game. So.
Yeah. Well, hopefully our next game will be in the playoffs, and we'll get to do this.
Playoffs?
Do this again.
You're talking about playoffs?
Playoffs. I mean, it's still possible. There's still a chance we can still make it. I hope so. That would be fun. Be fun to do. Otherwise, we'll be right back here for the what do we call it? The BBC Bowl?
Yeah, the BBC Bowl.
Yeah.
All
right, guys. Well, let's go on ahead and wrap this up. Any last words? Anybody out there?
No. I've said all I need to say tonight. Probably too much.
All right. Well, yeah. Go ahead, Alex.
If this is Cam Ward's last game, just like it was fun. Like, it was really fun to have this season and just go through the ups and downs that we did with the Virginia Tech incompletion, that fucking insane Cal game, the Louisville game.
Oh, yeah, this has been a great season. Like I don't get why. I mean, this fan base, bunch of Debbie Downers. We won 10 games, had an exciting season. Like, you didn't have a bunch of blowout games where you're kicked back, not even paying attention to the game. every game kept you on the edge of your seat, and you paid for the whole damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we haven't had a lot of Debbie Downers this year, so I just want to anoint the entire fan base as the Debbie Downer of the week.
Well, no. Mark Rosario won Debbie Downer this week because he thought no ACC title, no Heisman, no playoffs, no nothing. This season is complete waste.
You've been waiting to call that one out, haven't you? I remember seeing that.
Listen, man, I'm on here having a great time. I got strep throat. I'm not even 2 days into antibiotics. I still had a great season. And guess what? There is nothing that makes me think this team is going to be worse overall going forward.
No, it's an improvement. I mean, with the defense gets a little better. I think our offense is going to, obviously, without Cam Ward, it'll be different next year. But I do think that, we'll be fine. We'll be okay.
Yeah, and then what the fuck was I gonna say? I got interrupted by these morons on the TV. Oh, Cromanoke scrambling for his life. I'm not shocked at this, and he throws it away. Yeah, I mean, we're moving in the right direction. That's what matters. And hey, this year was a lot more fun than covering Middle Tennessee and the Georgia Tech knee debacle. So there's that.
Oh, that was rough. Yeah, we didn't have to do that. We didn't.
No,
it's been great.
And it was still fun because I almost died a few times coming out of the games like every year.
I miss you getting shot at.
Yeah, now I live in Hickville, USA, and that's not possible anymore. It's sad.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll see you for the next post-game show. I don't know what game it's going to be or when that will be, but we'll be here as always. So, Alex,
no matter how much you don't like it.
Yep, no matter how much you don't like it, we'll be back. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and we'll see you soon.